Hello everybody, it's Armchair. I'm back in California, and I'm very happy to be back with my fiance. We were able to take a nice walk around my neighborhood, and we were talking about just random shit. One of which was something that I posted about, a week ago. I don't know. Within the last week or so, I meant to post something about this, a video about this, a little bit earlier than I am now, but hey, Sarah. The thing in question is something that I saw on the front page of something that I have no idea where the hell I saw it, or it was on my For You page on Instagram. And it's a term that I'd never heard of, but it kind of makes sense. And as I said, my fiance and I talked about it while we walked. What the living is chalant dating? Well, you'd have to assume, I'd never heard of the word chalant being used in any context. But I'd have to assume that it would be the antonym of nonchalant, which nonchalant would mean that the person is very collected and cool. Not like in the sense where, they do something that's cool, but more like they don't really express openly. They're very apathetic. And chalant, I said it's an antonym of sorts. The person would be a lot more expressive and a lot more empathetic towards people. Now, it does have to be said that empathy is still a very powerful piece of humanity that we should still hold on to, despite what the much more powerful people than myself are saying, where we should just drop empathy because it's obsolete, has no place in our modern society. Which means it should be even more prevalent in our modern society. Seriously. It's honestly really, really cool to see that this mindset is all the rage at this point. And I don't blame him. I personally am very tired of the Andrew Tate-ification of absolutely everything, and I'm glad to see that there's a change. Changes specifically in how we perceive sex, not just the act or behavior, but how we represent ourselves and our orientations, and also how we tend to perceive others through stereotyping or otherwise. Chalant seems to offer a lot of emphasis on the power of connection between a party of two people, or if it's a polyamorous group, however many people are involved in that, romantic relationship. But it's a sure way to openly share your interest in being with that person or those people. You make notes of things that they do or say, you follow up on those things, whatever they may be, and to whatever scale you think might be an effective way to share that interest and that level of care that you want them to see. And if done right, you can get rewarded. My fiancé specifically mentioned that part of your body physically rewarding you with the release of oxytocin, which helps you bond a lot closer and build trust with that person or multiple persons of interest. Of course, you want to take small steps to get to the process where you feel like you're interlocked in a great level of trust and care for each other. You don't want to move too fast. Although the pace of anyone is going to be different. I personally know some people that are very willing to, in my fiance's perspective, seemingly jump the gun and go very quickly into a relationship, which there's nothing wrong with that. Connections can be built up relatively quickly. However long that might be for you, you'll just have to figure out yourself. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not your dad, and I'm not like a dating coach or anything like that. Although, not for nothing, because I have spent almost 7 years dating someone consistently that I plan on spending the rest of my life with. So, take that as you will. And my relationship with my fiancé has lasted since 4th grade, which is about 13 years ago at this point, which is insane. My fiancé, they definitely prefer, if they were to date anyone, including myself, to have these long-lasting relationships where they can build up this amount of trust over a long period of time, get to know that person, see how they work, and I or anyone else in turn could also see how they work. But yeah, I did talk a lot about this in the Love of My Life video that I made half a year ago at this point. And I mentioned a lot of my takes on the dating scene, how people should strive to be genuine with each other, and it seems that people are taking note. So I don't know how much I contributed to that amongst the hundreds of you that watch me regularly, but if that was some of you, then I'll take that victory. I just found that interesting, and I'd figured I'd just share it here, because it's genuinely cool to see that change of pace. So I hope all of you found that interesting. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again very soon.